good morning to you, the Camnet TV viewer. This is the breakfast show on Camnet TV on a Friday where we feed on business for breakfast. We sincerely apologize for starting this program slightly late. This has been due to some technical challenges that were beyond our control. But hey, here we are, and we are here to have a wonderful discussion as we always do on a Friday. It's a business, and we like to feed on what is happening around in the country. I know some economic fundamentals, a lot of things have been happening this week. We did see the Minister of Finance and National Planning, Dr. Sitube Komsokotwane, give us an update of the performance of the economy on Tuesday this week. On Wednesday, we did see the Bank of Zambia hold their monetary policy committee announcement. That was as a result of the meeting that they held in the past 3 days, starting with Monday, Tuesday, and on Wednesday they did give us that announcement. And you know, we did speak to some economists before the announcement was made, and we asked them, what do you expect the monetary policy will be this time around? And most of them said, you know, we expect the government will maintain, looking at what is happening in the economy and stuff like that, but we did not see that happen. Actually, the Bank of Zambia did increase the policy rate by 50 basis points. Quite some development happening in our country. From the announcement that was made on Tuesday by the Finance Minister, he talked about quite a number of things. We did see also the Secretary to Treasury, Minister Felix Nkulukusa, also give an update on where we are as a country with regards to restructuring our private debt, where he mentioned that next month in September, they are expected to sign some memorandum of understanding with the private creditors, and that can only be done if the other creditors, remember the bilateral creditors that government made an agreement with, sign that pending MOU. They've not signed, according to Mr. Nkulukusa, because those guys were on holiday, but now they are back. Quite a number of interesting things. And also we did see ZRA indicate that out of the 2,400 mines that we have in Zambia, only 7, imagine 2,400, only 7 have been consistent when it comes to paying revenue, and it is accounting for 80% of the revenue being collected from the mining sector. So even this morning, we will be discussing that particular topic, and the question that we are asking this morning is, these buyers of our minerals, are they manipulative? Is there manipulation by the buyers of our minerals? Because imagine 2,400 plus registered mines, only 7 are accounting for 80% of the country's revenue. Something is not adding up here. Something is not correct. But you two there watching us can be part of the conversation and let us know what you are thinking or what you are saying with regards to this topic. Is there manipulation by the buyers of our minerals? So we will be discussing that, and we will have our guest who will be joining us shortly. But because we are behind time, we are going to directly dive into the morning, the health corner, to see what the doctor has for us this morning. So just stay tuned, and we will get to conversate this morning.
Uni gynecologist from Medical Women's Association. Today we are looking at the series on the menstrual cycle from the start to the finish, and we are talking about menopause, the end of our reproductive life as we know it, and the beginning of the evening period of our lives. Again, this is for those in biological menopause. But at this point, this message is for any woman who is in menopause, whether you are in your early 30s, 40s, whether the menopause is natural or it's due to medical conditions or medical treatments. This message is for you. Today, we want to talk about diagnosis. There are some blood tests that can be done, like follicle-stimulating hormone, like anti-Mullerian hormone that looks at the reserve, estrogen levels that looks at whether my estrogen levels that my ovaries were producing, are these still within the correct ranges, or they have dropped pretty low? So come through and do some blood tests for your diagnosis. But what can I do to help myself during this period of menopause? Let's begin with non-hormonal therapy and diet and lifestyle. For lifestyle, daily exercise will help you keep that heart going. It will help you get a vitamin D to strengthen your bones. It will help you get a good night's sleep, because menopause can be characterized by brittle bones, can be characterized by insomnia or lack of sleep. So a good robust exercise program, if you're like me, a good walk every day will go a long way. Water, at least a liter per 30 kg body weight. If I'm 60 kg, I should drink no less than 2 liters of water per day. Let me keep well hydrated so that my mucous membranes or my vagina may remain moist. If I'm dehydrated, of course, the body will try and preserve its fluids for other critical body functions as opposed to vaginal moisture. So keep well hydrated. Diet. Our diet must be rich in green leafy vegetables, fresh fruits. Must be rich in things like fish, which has high omega-3 that minimizes hot flashes and vaginal dryness. It must be rich in calcium, milk, cheese if you can manage that, or supplements that you can chew every day from the stores. These of course have different price ranges, but whatever you can manage. If not from the diet, then from your vitamin supplements. We look also at things like soy supplements, black cohosh is found in health stores. These will help minimizing. Again, there are things that we can plant, like sage, the herb sage. I've seen this in some local supermarkets. You can pound that, put it in hot water, have a cup of sage tea, and goodbye to those intense hot flashes. Again, this is not 100% for everybody, but it's worth a try. In terms of hormone replacement therapy, of course, with menopause, our hormones are low. So replacing should minimize the severity of our symptoms. Why should we address them? Because we want to be functional, we want to enjoy the evening years, we want to enjoy life after that event, life after that radiotherapy. So this is why we fight and push to treat those symptoms, manage those symptoms so that we can still be vibrant women in this society. And so, what about hormone replacement? Your doctor will be the best person to tell you if you can. If you've had breast cancer, clots in your family or clots in yourself, in your legs, in your lungs, you may not be the best candidate for that, but we'll triage you and see. So let's embrace our womanhood. Let's not be shy to discuss what we're going through. I'm Dr. Mutinta Muyuni, happy to share about menstrual cycle, the beginning and the end at menopause. We look forward to seeing you for many more health talks. Medical Women Association of Zambia. Thank you.
There you have it. That's what we could accommodate this morning on the Health Corner. I hope women, we are listening to the advice that the doctor has given us this morning. Embrace your womanhood. I think it's one thing that I've gotten from everything that she said. Not everything, although I got everything, but that point has just captured my attention. Embrace your womanhood. It's a blessing to actually be a woman, because we are the mother of the world. Without a woman, it would be impossible to have all the people that we have on the face of the earth. So a woman is very important. Embrace your womanhood. I think you would agree with me that when we were growing up, when we were kids, whenever your mom steps out of home, of the house and goes somewhere, maybe for days, it really felt strange in the house. That's the importance that is attached to the woman. So embrace your womanhood. Let's do what the doctors are telling us, because our kids, our spouses, and our family members need us more than anything. In a house where a woman is toxic, trust me, it is a toxic environment. But yeah, woman, embrace your womanhood. That is what the doctor was talking about. Menopause there. She talked about a number of things. She also talked about cancer. I know most of the time women are victims of cancer, especially breast cancer, cervical cancer. Please, let's visit these health facilities. They are there to offer us a service. I think most of the time when we think of hospital, it's only when we are sick. No, even when you're not sick, it is important to do some body checks at health facilities. So that's what the doctor was discussing. Also this morning, we are going to look at how is it that our local currency is performing against other major convertibles. That is the kwacha against the United States dollar, kwacha there against other major convertibles. Let's see how it is faring this morning as of today, Friday, the 25th of August 2023, as at 7:16 hours. The Zambian kwacha against a Great British Pound was buying at 24 kwacha 57 ingwe, pardon me, and selling at 25 kwacha 05 ingwe. The Zambian kwacha against the euro, they are buying at 21 kwacha 06 ingwe and selling at 21 kwacha 47 ingwe. The Zambian kwacha against the South African rand, buying at 1 kwacha 04 ingwe and selling at 1 kwacha 06 ingwe. The Zambian kwacha against the United States dollar, they are buying at 19 kwacha 45 ingwe and selling at 19 kwacha 87 ingwe. That is the money market for this morning. Kwacha, they are not performing according to what we expect, but we just wish our government and other stakeholders and players in this sector all the best as they deliberate on matters that pertain to the country, because Zambian kwacha trading against the United States dollar at 19 kwacha 45, I don't know if I saw it correctly, 45, 46 ingwe. That is not something that is good for the country. Yes, thank you for that, Elijah. Now 19 kwacha 83 ingwe, they are the selling price, and buying at 19 kwacha 45 ingwe, not what we expect as a country. So all we can say is we wish the UPND administration all the best as they deliberate on matters that pertain to the country. Remember, if UPND fails, we have all failed as a country. If they succeed, we all feel the impact. So even as you aspire to take over the leadership of this country, if you are an aspiring president, if you rejoice when you see UPND fail, you will not make a good leader. If anything, we're supposed to be there to offer solutions so that even when you take over as presidency, you'll find things are okay and it will be easy for you to, govern this country. The challenges that we are facing now today has been because of maybe some of the mistakes that those our former leaders did. We know they did a lot of good things. We commend the Patriotic Front administration for the works that they did. We saw a number of health facilities coming up. We saw infrastructure, roads, airport. They did quite a number of things that were positive. But we also know that the country's debt is unsustainable. We can't even be able to pay back the debt. Sometimes when you're borrowing, you need a plan of how you pay back. But imagine you borrow, you don't know how to pay back that money. It becomes a problem because we are borrowing without a plan. This is now where the UPND administration is finding it difficult to ensure that debt levels are sustained. They've been engaging the creditors, but remember, even the people we are engaging are also coming with conditions attached to them giving you financing. These are the consequences sometimes when you rejoice when others are failing. So let us wish the UPND all the best so that they can make it, so that the next leader who will take over will find it easier to govern. This is how the country should be. So also yesterday we had quite a number of stories that made headline in our news, but remember, it is already 2 years of the Patriotic Front of the United Party for National Development in office and of the Patriotic Front out of office. But we have the UPND first 2 years in office, and a lot of stakeholders have been weighing on that. So we are going to zoom into one of the stories that made headline in our news yesterday, where the United Party for National Development Administration marks 2 years in office. An agriculturalist has pinpointed achievements and failures of President Hichilema's administration in the agriculture sector during the campaign in the run-up to the August 2021 elections. You know, one thing I like about promises is people always look back to what you said. So the UPND pledged to transform the agriculture sector by enhancing and delivering of farming inputs and improving access to technical support and reliable veterinary services, among others. Exactly 2 years since President Hichilema was inaugurated, the Ministry of Agriculture has been under fire due to lack of policy direction in the sector. Vincent brought us this report. Let's weigh in on this.
Agriculture accounts for about 20% of the gross domestic product (GDP) and has potential to be a major source of economic growth given the country's abundant fertile land, water resources for irrigation and favorable rainfall pattern. Prior to the 2021 August general elections, the United Party for National Development pledged to transform the agriculture sector by enhancing and the timely delivery of fertilizers and seeds, improving access to technical support and reliable veterinary services, among others. Exactly 2 years after President Hakainde Hichilema was inaugurated, agriculturists have weighed in on the achievements and failures of the new Dawn administration in the agriculture sector this far. Alan Mbebe is an agriculturist and commends government for increasing the purchasing price of maize and other crops, however, wants government to do more.
The Minister of Agriculture has done very well, like in the area of fertilizer distribution. Though it is late, but they have managed to distribute. Though it's not enough, but they have managed to reach some farmers. I think it's not very easy. They have also done very well in the issue of purchase of maize. The floor price of maize is very good. The floor price of rice is very good.
Boyd Mobwe, Smallholder Farmers Development Agency founder, says the new Dawn government should use the remaining 3 years to improve on the delivery of farming inputs.
We are still limping. I think there are one or two things that the government needs to do in order to put the sector under proper footing. We are calling upon the government to really pull up their stockings, and they should not play around this time. They need to say they want to fix the economy, and once they announce something to do it, despite any challenges, they have to be accurate, they have to be prudent, they have to see that a comprehensive agriculture support program, which is yet to start. We don't know when it's going to start.
The past 2 years have seen farmers receiving their farming inputs such as fertilizer and seeds late due to procurement procedures. In this coming farming season, a tender in which a bidder was to be awarded a contract for the supply of urea fertilizer has, just like in the past 2 years, been cancelled. Hopes are that this will not, just like in the past 2 years, delay the delivery of urea fertilizer to farmers. With 3 years to go, the new Dawn administration must undoubtedly put things in order in the Ministry of Agriculture, or the country will continue to see dwindling yields. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
There you have it, some stakeholders in the agriculture sector weighing in on the United Party for National Development's 2 years in office. I know it's been marred with quite a number of challenges. I remember just a few weeks, I think it should be last week, one of my people from the village in Northern Province, that is in Pika, in the constituency, Mr. Sandy Chanda's constituency. Okay, the name has just disappeared, but I hope I remember exactly that place. You know, they called me and they were lamenting, crying over the aspect of fertilizer. They said, you know, last year we literally had to share fertilizer in buckets, in medals, in whatsoever, and this year the situation has been the same. I think for the UPND administration in this particular sector, the problem has been lack of proper communication or communicating mechanism. Because, you know, we've got a number of farmers in rural areas who were removed on the FISI program, and they've not actually been informed well why that was the case. So some of them think, okay, because last year we did not receive, this year there is a probability that we are going to receive fertilizer. And this year comes, they are in cooperatives, they've paid the money they are made to pay, but unfortunately they are being told, you cannot receive your fertilizer because you've been removed from the program. I think before removing, you know, that first group, immediately the UPND came in office, they could have at least warned the farmers to say, we are giving you this year, Next year, we are removing you from the program. So when you grow your crops, ensure that you reserve enough resources so that next year you buy your own fertilizer. But I know your PND just came in office and they said, all those who've been on the program 5 years, this year you're not receiving. But we've got quite a number of those small-scale farmers who are in deep rural areas and they don't understand what is happening. So, they were calling me and they were lamenting and I'm trying to explain and it wasn't making sense to them because they are hearing it from me instead of hearing it from you, they are leaders. So I think UPND administration needs there for 5 years. Some of them did not even know they need to graduate. Remember, they're in rural areas. Once they were put on that program, they thought they'll be receiving forever because there was no proper mechanism of telling them after 5 years you graduate. But immediately the UPND came in office, they just said, all these going up, we are removing you, we are putting other people there. Yes, we know that was what is stipulated in FISIP to say after 5 years you have to be removed on the program, but communication is key. You need to inform the people, this is what is happening, we are removing you. So, they called me and they were saying all these manner of things that, I'm trying to explain, I'm on phone and, I knew this conversation would not end now, it would take longer than usual. So I just said, okay, I hear your complaint and I'll deliver it to the relevant authorities. And this is what I'm doing this morning. So Kanchiria constituency, the name has come. The people of Kanchiria constituency, we have quite a number of farmers who've complained in the manner in which FISIP has been handled in the past 2 years. Last year, they didn't receive FISIP. This year, they are not receiving because they've been removed on the program and no one has told them why this has been the case. No one has explained to them very well why this has been the case. So in terms of communication, we need a lot of improvement from the United Party for National Development. But I know UPND is doing the best they can to ensure that, the agriculture sector begins to have an impact that it needs to improve the other crops apart from, maize. There's too much reliability on maize in the country while we neglect other produce that can actually earn us a lot of forex. So I know there's a lot that is happening, but just the communication mechanism is what needs to be improved. Also, in one of the stories that made headline in our news yesterday, the Patriotic Front PF has urged the United Party for National Development, UPND-led government, to take action against unruly cadres as opposed to just warning them. Remember, Mr. Chitambala Mwewa was attacked by some suspected UPND cadres at his offices who threatened, they issued all those threatening, derogatory remarks and stuff like that. And we did see Minister of Local Government, Gary Nkombo, just send a warning. But PF says it is not enough. If you keep warning people, they'll keep repeating the same thing because they know action will not be taken. What we want is if you discipline these ones, the next group will not, do the same thing because they know if we do this, this will be the consequences. So for them, they feel just warning is not enough. They want it to see being triggered to some action being taken with regards to that. So let's zoom into this story that made headline where Mr. Lifekelo, who's the deputy media director for Patriotic Front, was reacting to the unruly cadres' behavior against a senior citizen. Let's zoom into this story that made headline in our news.
The Patriotic Front PF has welcomed the acceptance by UPND-led government that cadreism remains a challenge in the country. The new Dawn government, since its ascendance into government, committed to end the scourge about 2 years ago. However, the organism from UPND cadres continues to be witnessed. Following an incident where cadres confronted non-business proprietor in Lusaka, government warned the cadres to desist from the vice or risk losing power. Commenting on the matter, Patriotic Front PF, through its deputy media director, Edwin Lifekelo, has welcomed the admission of the problem.
Say that we appreciated the leadership that was offered in that regard from Mr. Waniso, because he has been very clear. But the other leaders, in terms of the ministers, Combo himself and many others, they have continued to tell the Zambian people that they've ended cadreism. The provincial chairman himself, OPND, has been on record that there is no cadreism. Finally, I think they are admitting, because of the things that are happening. I think it's very clear that we still have cadres in markets. From the ruling party, we still have cadres in the bus stations.
Mr. Lifekelo has, however, challenged government to ensure that erring cadres are punished in accordance with the law as opposed ending on criticism.
At the end of the day, the leadership of the party haven't got the stamina to control cadreism. They must just resign from their positions and allow people that know how to deal with cadreism, especially the law enforcement agencies. So we are happy that finally the truth has come out of the bag. Yeah, but saying that yes, we have cadreism is not enough. I think that as a rider to that, the UPND must take full responsibility and ensure that this nonsense that is happening in markets, in bus stations, where people are being harassed, especially in view that the vendors are no longer there now. So we expect that there should be sanity.
It is only hope that stakeholders and government will join hands and sincerely address the criminal elements being perpetrated by some political cadres. For Camnet News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
There you have it. Patriotic Front Deputy Media Director there, Mr. Adifekelo, responding to the warnings that the UPND gave cadres. They are saying it's not enough to just warn them. We needed to see more action being taken on that particular case. But also, we've had some people who've argued, actually I had someone who was arguing to say, but the Patriotic Front is saying it's just not enough to warn the cadres. Them, when they were in office, they never even warned the cadres. In fact, they praised the cadres, whoever attacked citizens. Among them, we did see cadres beat police officers and no action was taken at all. So they are saying, you know, this is what they planted and now it is working against them. But anyway, we cannot keep repeating what was happening in the past. Then you are not different from those in the past. What I know is if you are saying you are different, you have to do things differently. So the UPND administration has said, no cadres, we need to see them do things differently, not what we saw under the Patriotic Front. So yes, of course, Patriotic Front should be the least to talk about, you know, disciplining cadres because we did not see that under their regime. But again, we cannot keep doing or repeating the same mistake that was happening in the past. We are here to make a difference as a people and as the United Party for National Development, UPND-led administration. So even as we allow our guests this morning to just settle in so that we dive into the conversation, in Mongo, we move to Mongo in Southern Province. Residents of Mbunwana compound in Western Province are calling on the Ministry of Health to open the Mongo mortuary, which has remained a white elephant. The residents tell Camnet News that they are now depending on Lewanika General Hospital mortuary to access services. So, you know, government spends money to construct this particular structure, but they don't complete it. It just becomes a white elephant. Somehow we call that a waste of resources, because we find that by the time they'll be occupying that particular mortuary, other things could have maybe been vandalized, and we could have had one or two things broken. Again, you have to start going back and spending resources. So the residents are concerned to say, you know, money was used and was spent on this particular issue. Can we see a difference? Can we see it operationalize? So let's just zoom into that story that made headline in our news yesterday, even as we allow our guests to come in and settle.
The construction of Mongo District Mortuary commenced in 2017 to decongest the overcrowded Lewanika General Hospital mortuary. However, since its completion, the structure remained non-operational, turning into a white elephant. Concerned residents in the area tell Camnet News they are still depending on the congested Lewanika General Hospital mortuary to keep their loved ones before burial. One of the concerned residents, Mobita Monde, of Mbunwana compound, has called on government through the Ministry of Health to immediately open Mongo District Hospital mortuary.
Hospital from 2017, Mongo District Hospital. We don't have a mortuary. Our mortuary is here, but it's not working. It's not in operational. We have to take a long distance from here to bring our deceased to Lewanika General Hospital. Now, we are asking, we are on our knees to the Honorable Minister of Health, Madam Masebo. Please come to our assistance. Please help us here in Mbuywana. We need this mortuary, our aid at the Mungu District Hospital. We need this mortuary. We need the hospitals, wards, all wards here.
Other residents, John Katongo and Justin Simui, have echoed similar sentiments.
Kwanu koluinji, niba nikwali wanika. Kikwahule ya hulu. Mafuafu mane hakwanu, alikozeshu za kushwela mama nukizenga ta hulu. Kihani kupa kwa muso wa UPND, kwa muso waboha kainde hichilema. Si hulu minaba etelelivalu naba fumane ya Mungu District. Lukupa kuli mutolu tusa luziele hile kwa mani mochari ya luna hamo mani sipatila saluna sipatila sesina ni mawadi kandi kinyi mawadi asa beleki
nuka fumana mutu yazi ile ha utimelezi mwandu shiri mwandu kondi kubatela kwali wanika womu yaona wezi kale kandi chwe hausa kwa ululi kini kutata hao balu tuse balu file mangeke balu te utuku kuliamba kwa ululi wanaka tuzele mateni ngakalo kupatuso kwa muso.
Mungu District is one of the highly populated towns in Western Province, however lag behind in several aspects of development. For Camnet News, Afias Kaptula. The construction of Mungu District mortuary commenced in 2017 to decongest the overcrowded Lewanika General Hospital mortuary. However, since its completion, the structure remained non-operational, turning into a white elephant. Concerned residents in the area tell Camnet News they are still depending on the congested Lewanika General Hospital mortuary to keep their loved ones before burial. One of the concerned residents, Mobita Monde, of Mbuywana compound, has called on government through the Minister of Health to immediately open Mungu District Hospital mortuary.
Hospital. From 2017, Mungu District Hospital. We don't have a mortuary. Our mortuary is here, but it's not working. It's not in operational. We have to take a long distance from here to bring our deceased to Lewanika General Hospital. Now, we are asking, we are on our knees to the Honorable Minister of Health, Madam Masevo. Please come to our assistance. Please help us here in Mbuywana. We need this mortuary, our aid at the Mungu District Hospital. We need this mortuary. We need the hospitals, wards, all wards here.
Other residents, John Katongo and Justin Simui, have echoed similar sentiments.
Kwanu koluinji, niba nikwali wanika. Kikwahule ya hulu. Mafuafu mane hakwanu, alikozeshu za kushwela mama nukizenga ta hulu. Kihani kupa kwa muso wa UPND, kwa muso waboha kainde hichilema. Si hulu minaba etelelivalu naba fumane ya Mungu District. Lukupa kuli mutolu tusa luziele hile kwa mani mochari ya luna hamo mani sipatila saluna sipatila sesina ni mawadi kandi kinyi mawadi asa beleki
nuka fumana mutu yazi ile ha utimelezi mwandu shiri mwandu kondi kubatela kwali wanika womu yaona wezi kale kandi chwe hausa kwa ululi kini kutata hao balu tuse balu file mangeke balu te utuku kuliamba kwa ululi wanaka tuzele mateni ngakalo kupatuso kwa muso.
Mungu District is one of the highly populated towns in Western Province, however lag behind in several aspects of development. For Camnet News, Afias Kaptula.
There you have it, Mungu there in Southern Province, a cry from a member of the community to ensure that a mortuary that was built at a cost using the resources from the constituency becomes functional. The residents there are complaining to say, you know, you build an infrastructure and you leave it as a white elephant. It is a waste of resources and they want to see it come to effect. If Minister of Health is listening, I hope the plight of the people in Mungu will be met through the complaints that they've made. We want to see you act to that particular complaint. But of course, this morning we are discussing, is there manipulation by buyers who buy minerals from our country. That is a topic that we are discussing, among other important things that we will be discussing this morning regarding the mining sector. Also this week held a meeting, a town hall meeting, where they were giving in the third quarter of this year. Among some of the highlight or the things that caught our attention is when the Zambia Revenue Authority gave us, their presentation. And in their presentation, they did mention that out of the over 2,400 plus mines registered in the country, only 7 have been paying their taxes, amounting to 80% of most of the tax that is collected from the mining sector. When they in the country. So I am joined by the Federation of Small Scale Mining Association of Zambia President, Pastor Joseph Mwansa. Sir, good morning.
Good morning, thank you.
It's good to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you, we're blessed this morning.
Also, I am joined by a member of the Federation of Small Scale Miners Association of Zambia, Mr. Victor Kalesha. Sir, good morning.
Good morning, thank you.
It's good to have you back in studio this morning.
It's always good to be here.
Yes, I know last time we had quite a good conversation with regards to the mining sector for small-scale miners. But let me start with a question that I asked last week. On a lighter note, what has been happening around, and among the things that have been happening is, the gold scandal, where it has actually been discovered that that was not gold, but a mixture or a combination of other metals or minerals such as zinc, gold, and stuff like that. At first, when DEC seized that plane, they did indicate that suspected gold, but later on, the minister did tell us that it is not gold, but a mixture of all these components. So let me just throw it to you, Mr. Kalesha, on this particular one. Is it possible that, you've been in this sector for some time? Is it possible that I can mix, gold, I can mix zinc, I can mix copper, I can mix these other things and make those bars that look like gold?
Okay, in this mining sector we are in, people are crafty. There are people that are genuine, that deal genuinely with the minerals, they have the integrity, but there are also scammers that always want to make money out of what they have not worked for. It is very possible because there is actually a lot of fake materials in the market, and we know that people in wanting to make quick money, they are able to come up with mechanisms of wanting to make things that will look like what people really need. And yes, it's very possible that people can mix certain elements and probably put up maybe a bit of gold so that it's detected as gold and tests as gold. So it is very possible, yes.
Oh, quite interesting. What I know, I'm not a miner, and I want to learn, like others who are watching this program. What I know is that copper is a heavy metal. It's quite heavy, because when we see, copper being ferried from here and stuff like this, we see these bars, these, big, heavy metal that it is. But in that particular incident, we did see those small bars. It's possible to reduce copper to that particular level. When you mix it with other metals, I think it would even become more heavier. But in this particular case, we have those small bars.
I'm not an expert into it, but I know that because copper is melted, you are able to melt copper, and this is the reason why they would want to mix it with these other elements so that it looks like the actual gold. So because copper is melted, and these other elements that they want to mix it up is for the purpose of making it have the weights of what metal or material they want to make. Yeah.
Interesting there. This morning, in case you're just tuning into Camnet TV, we are discussing, is there manipulation by buyers of minerals in the country? And in studio, I am joined by the Federation of Small Scale Miners Association of Zambia President, Pastor Joseph Mwansa, and the member of the association, Mr. Victor Kalesha. We are having a discussion, but you too can be part of this conversation. Remember, minerals are Zambia's largest forex earner, and in the country so far, we've not seen quite the expectation that we need from our minerals, where are we getting it wrong, and what is it that we need to do. But also, remember that most of the small-scale miners have been slapped with penalties by the Ministry of Mines ranging from 90,000, 180,000 to 270,000 kwacha for non-compliance. What information we have now, the latest, is that the Ministry of Mines actually did meet with the Federation. Am I correct, Pastor?
Yes.
Just give us a highlight of the meeting that you had. What have you discussed with the ministry with regards to the penalties?
It was a great meeting, very successful meeting, and I would like even to tell the nation that those penalties came as a result of non-compliance, and any government anywhere, when you are at fault, they can do anything according to their law. Now, I think it's very also important that when you are slapped with such kind of penalties, you become humble and engage yourself and the organization to discuss the matter, and that's what we did. That's the right procedure that we followed. We met the minister and we had a very successful meeting, very fruitful. We have to tell our members to write something, at least there should be something written concerning why they were not, sending those returns to the Ministry of Mines. There are 3 penalties that were given. Number 1, for non-compliance, there was for failing to send or to submit annual return, monthly return, and also a future projection. Those were the 3 penalties that attracted 270,000 for each and every person. Now, after we had a discussion, we were told to at least put something in writing. And as an organization, we inform all the association and our members. Then they are going to write the letters to various associations. Then they will submit to Federation of Small-Scale Miners. Then we'll submit to the Ministry of Mines, and we'll have another meeting with the Minister and the Permanent Secretary, which at the end it will result to a great, I think, result which many Zambians are expecting. And I would also want to emphasize that when something comes out, our members should not rush to begin to condemn the government as if they are trying to grab their minds, and that's the nature that we have seen in our nation. Before actual things happen, you see people crying this and that. At the moment, there is no one who has lost the mine, and we believe that something tangible, it will come out. And looking at what the president has been pronouncing and encouraging the miners, is a firm supporter of our industry. He cannot go against his word. He's very much supportive, and we thank God that he's behind us. In all, the meeting, it was fruitful. I think few days from now or weeks, we'll see this issue be sorted out. We had a very great meeting with him, Mr. Kareja. We are together, and we were encouraged because the government is not after grabbing the mines from Zambian people. They are the one who are encouraging the miners to formalize the sector and also to form some cooperatives, and we are working